And then we talk about it a little bit at the end, set up the next clip. Who's this next person? Well, this is that person, blah, blah, blah. You may say a nice few words about them, and then we play that clip. And that stuff will be edited to go back and forth, and then that way that'll be a show. So they'll be seeing us and looking at the video footage. And that's why I'm not worried about the video footage being so perfect, because the goal is to really know your phone is showing snippets, and those people, those artists, will get some publicity out of it. You know what I'm saying? You know. So that's all. So basically, as you're doing it, you're just doing your show, and that's enough. Because I don't want you to do more than what your show is. So that's kind of where I'm at, you know.
Well, you know, that's good. That's becoming that producer that's in your life. That's a good plan.
Yeah.
That's a good plan.
And the good part about it is that really what I intend to do is if I do a good job with Can TV for the first couple months, that will make it so that when I say in November, remember I told you in November that's what I'm thinking of coming out there, then I can tell them, hey, let me sign out 2 cameras, and then I can bring that with me down to Atlanta, and then we can do the special preparation room there where I got the cameras from the network, bam. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I think it's a good setup, really. So that's why I'm thinking that if we pre-record the audio stuff, because, you know, people are driving, people are doing stuff, working, and if they can be listening to it without looking at it, that's okay too. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, so those episodes, they don't have to be the same as what you put on TV. Stuff that's made for TV is made for TV. Stuff that's made for audio is made for audio. So,
and we can get a lot of different stuff. I got a lot of different stuff that this other guy that comes every week. His name is L.A. He's a rapper. Let me see. Let me just expose. He's a rapper. I was just talking to him. I didn't tell him. Pretty much, I told him a little bit about you, but we didn't get a chance to like set up something for you to talk to him. But we can whenever you want to. When you call, I had just hung up from him. I told him I had to get this call, but I know he's waiting to do something. He's been there. Other ones come in, The other ones come in and they leave, but this one, he's been there, like, you know, he come every week. He believes in the vision. He knows something is going down.
We know we are the chosen people. How can a pagan be worthier than a son of Israel?
Everybody is welcome at my father's table. Rich, poor, masters, servants, the children of Abraham and the pagans.
I wish I could make you understand the significance, the realness of the crucifixion. See, Jesus was God manifested in the flesh to bring God and you together. He took your sins upon his chest and drank of the cup of God's wrath that you were supposed to swallow. That's the reason yesterday that you had a tomorrow. Surely he had borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God and afflicted. God allowed him to be smoked, so what the prophets wrote would be fulfilled, and redemption could be sealed by his blood. A man without sin was scourged for all of your sins, and though he was sickless, he bore all of your sicknesses. I wish you knew the reason for what God was trying to do. He wanted to hug you and love you. He wanted to protect you from sin and death, but yet man loved himself more than God. That's the reason darkness comprehended him not. Wipe the sleep out of your eyes, open up your ears. This thing is deeper than it may appear.
Ever since the curse, the serpent and mankind have searched for who'll be the great redeemer. He was slain from the foundation of the world. So before he framed it, he aimed his love towards you like only the Godhead can do. Looking past my sin and dwelling deep within, bringing me
can make you understand the distress at Gethsemane when he fought the foe of the flesh. He saw himself nailed by his wrists, stretched wide, flesh ripped and hung high. Mixed emotions about the notion that the world knew him not, yet his devotion to the will of his pops kept him going. He fell on his face. If it be possible, this cup of wrath, let it pass from me. But he knew it had to be. See, he'd have to take his righteousness off and put your sin on, then get whipped, slapped, mocked, stabbed, kicked, and spit on. When he'd be slain, no Novocaine, he'd feel all the pain, from the thorns in his brain to the spear in his gut. I wish you knew how rough it really was. I wish you knew how deep agape love is. Wipe the sleep out of your eyes, open up your ears. This thing is deeper than it may appear.
Ever since the curse, the serpent and mankind have searched for who be the great redeemer. He was slain from the foundation of the world. So before he framed it, he aimed his love towards you like only the Godhead can do. Looking past my sin and dwelling deep within, bringing me to expected end. So before he framed it, he aimed his love towards you like only the Godhead can do.
He was betrayed by his homie, arrested then cuffed. Accusers calling him blasphemous. A whole room of men bum rushed from all sides, striking and slapping and spitting and kicking and grabbing and tearing and punching and biting and pulling and pushing and striking and smiting and hitting him until they got tired. Handed him the Pilate, he said, I can take your life. Jesus let him know he wasn't right. He said, no man can take my life unless that I would lay you down. You have no power over me. Then Pilate had him bound. They tied him to a post after he was stripped, then mercilessly beaten with a whip. The whip was made of sharp pieces of metal bounded by a leather strap. Fragments of flesh was torn from his back. They made him walk miles with a big block of wood on his shoulder to Golgotha. They laid him down. All you heard was the sound of them pounding, nails in his wrists. Blood began to drip, everyone began to flinch. I know Jesus had to bite his lip from the pain. They picked the cross up. Moms kept on weeping. Then they pounded nails in his feet. Then a darkness came over the land. Some people say it's 'cause God turned his face away. See, what happened was Jesus had your sin on him. Now you can be forgiven for all that you've done. Each stripe that he took was so you could be healed. Each hit that he took so you wouldn't have to feel what he felt. God so loved you that he gave his only begotten son to do what he's done. I wish you knew the full weight of agape.
Ever since the curse, the serpent and mankind have searched for who be the great redeemer. He was slain from the foundation of the world. So before he framed it, he aimed his love towards you like only the Godhead can do. Looking past my sin and dwelling deep within, bringing me to expected end. So before he framed it, he aimed his love towards you like only the Godhead can do. Ever since the curse, for who be the great redeemer. He was slain from the foundation of the world. So before he framed it, he aimed his love.
This free download is brought to you by M3Dots.com.
Looking past my sins, dwelling deep within.
The Matt Ellipsis District. Pre-orders available now.
So before he framed it,
M3Dots.com. Thank you for your support.